Hello, my name is Anne Franz, and I'm very excited to be here with you today, sharing information about engineering careers and what it's going to take for you to be successful in the workplace. I'm going to share my screen with my PowerPoint presentation. If you'd like this, please feel free to reach out to me and you can, at the end of this presentation, I'll have my contact information. So let's begin. So I am the executive director of the New Manufacturing Alliance, which is an organization of over 400 companies throughout Northeast Wisconsin. I actually helped start it 19 years ago. We started with 12 and again have over 380 members. Our vision is that every Northeast Wisconsin manufacturer will find the talent it needs. So we're working with education and work very closely, in fact, with UW Green Bay to really help students learn about great careers in engineering. And we also support college scholarships. In fact, over the years, we've given over $700,000 in college scholarships. And this past year, we gave 15,000 to UW Green Bay, and then 65,000 to the rest of the colleges. So, question for you. In Northeast Wisconsin, what do you think is the top industry in terms of employment? What industry sector employs the most people? If you guessed manufacturing, you're correct. In fact, 1 out of 3 people work in manufacturing. The next area is healthcare. And then after that, any guesses? It is retail. So that is the type of jobs that are in Northeast Wisconsin. So if you're planning on staying, this is a great place to find a job in engineering. Did you know there's over 2,000 manufacturers that are right here in the 18 counties of Northeast Wisconsin? And they actually employ 139,000 people. Isn't that amazing? So our organization, several years ago did a study on Industry 4.0. And this is going to be really important for you to understand what Industry 4.0 is, because when you get into the workplace, it's going to be critically important that you understand what all this is. So let me give you a definition so you know what I'm talking about. So Industry 4.0 is the transformation occurring in manufacturing to integrate digital technologies such as cloud computing and analytics, AI and machine learning, and the Internet of Things into production facilities and operations. It's characterized by improved efficiencies such as increased automation, predictive and proactive maintenance, and self-optimized process improvements. So that's what Industry 4.0 is. In 2024, we did a study that was similar to a study we did several years ago in 2021 and then also in 2019, really helping us understand where companies are in their Industry 4.0 journey. And here's the study results. So, what are the current technology investments companies are investing in? And number one is cybersecurity. And watching the news, I mean, it's all over about cyber attacks, ransomware, all sorts of things. So companies are heeding that warning and are investing significantly in cybersecurity. So if you can take a class in cybersecurity, would be great because you're going to have a leg up on other students that are applying for their first job. Other investments include cloud computing, material digital integration, the industrial Internet of Things, automation robotics, and generative AI, just to name a few. So take a look at this list because as you are going on with your education, these are hot topics. And so if there are classes, be sure to invest and take those type of classes in your engineering degree program. I actually was appointed by Governor Evers for the Wisconsin Governor's Task Force on Workforce and Artificial Intelligence. That was last year, and we worked for a year and did a study report. And I really got two things out of the year working with that group. One is AI is the new internet. It will be that impactful in the next few years. People will be using AI every day. And then what I also heard is AI isn't going to take your job away, but you will take the job of the person that doesn't know how to use AI. And that's why it's so critically important that you have done that work, that you have the expertise in AI so you can utilize it. I know I use it, if not every day, at least weekly. And so utilizing AI is something that you are definitely going to be using when you graduate with your engineering degree. In the study, we asked companies, are you currently using AI? And it was basically 50-50. And then when we asked why, a lot of people are just like, I don't know how to use it. And I'm a little concerned about the security. And so those are things that you can really help companies as you enter into the workforce to have those answers on how to use it, the security issues. We also asked, what are the high demand jobs in the next 3 years? So pretty close to when you're graduating. Project manager, process engineer, AI specialist, automation technician, application developer, data analytics, and IT security were all things stated by these companies specific to Industry 4.0. We also did a study this past year called um, the 2025 Northeast Wisconsin Manufacturing Vitality Study Index. And that study, we polled over 70 manufacturers in the region that have 25 or more employees and 3 million or more in revenue. We asked them several questions. And one of them was being, were your sales in 2024? And do you expect increased sales in 2025? And the good news is for 2025, 60% feel they're going to have increased sales. We also asked, are you financially healthy? And over 90% said they were financially healthy. So those are good signs for a good economy in our region. We also asked, were you expanding in plant modernization? And we found over half of companies were going to be investing in plant modernization, which is pretty consistent with what we've seen over the last 10 years. And then expansions, a little bit of a drop off from 2020, but still some investment in plant expansion. Then we asked, are you hiring? And over 40% plan on hiring in quarter one and two in 2025, and also hiring in at the end of the year. But then when we asked them, are you having a hard time finding talent? Yikes. Over half said they were having a hard time finding talent. When we first did this study, only 29% stated that they couldn't find the talent they needed. And this past year, we had over half. We also asked, are there other skills you are looking for? And we found communication skills being a need, attendance, dependability, work ethic were other things that were in high demand, but sometimes hard to find. So you are looking at going into engineering, and I can't tell you how excited our organization is that you are looking at that career. In fact, such an important career field for us that several years ago, probably 15 years ago, we met with UW Green Bay and UW Oshkosh about the need for four-year engineering degrees. And through those conversations with the chancellors and their deans, we helped create the business case. We did a study of our membership of what engineering needs were in our region, because at the time there was not any four-year engineering or engineering technology degrees at UW Oshkosh as well as UW Green Bay. And we came up with, we need engineering technology, as well as engineering and mechanical and electrical. We went with them to the Board of Regents to support their application to offer those degrees. And now, 10 years later, there's hundreds of people like you enrolled at GB and Oshkosh for engineering and engineering technology. So again, kudos to you for enrolling in these degrees because they truly are high demand fields in our region. They also are great starting salaries and benefits. You're going to find that you're going to have job flexibility and stability. And what's great too is there's a great career pathway. Several of the companies I work with, their VPs were engineers and now are vice presidents. And you really are going to have a community impact. A lot of times we don't think about all the things that are made right here in Northeast Wisconsin. For example, we have a frigate being built, a Navy ship being built in Marinette, Michigan, saving the lives of those sailors that are going to be on it. We have things that people need, like toilet paper at Georgia Pacific. And you could be engineer at that company and making a valuable product that people use every day. And the people that I talk to in engineering have a very high level of satisfaction. So I really feel that you are going to find that it's going to be a career field that you're going to definitely use the skills that you're learning at UW Green Bay, and that you're going to find a career not just for a few years, but for a lifetime. So when I talk to employers about what they're looking for in engineering candidates, of course, they're looking for those technical skills. But also they're looking for soft skills. And we call them employability skills. So they're looking for people that are innovative, that can have positive conflict resolution, that are servant leaders. And servant leaders is that you put the other person above yourself, that they are lifelong learners. So unfortunately, just after you finish your degree, it's not over then. You still are going to need to continue to learn. And then that you're willing to mentor others and give back. Because when you enter your career, you'll have people mentor you. And the goal is then, in turn, in the future, you'll be able to mentor others. So, again, I can't state enough how important these employability skills are. And so, because of that, our organization worked with companies throughout the region to really spotlight what are those employability skills that you're going to need to be successful. And so I'm going to be sharing a video that's about 12 minutes long that will be featuring those employability skills. So I am going to take a moment to get that video going. And I will get us there. What I'm going to do is show you where you can find it. I'm going to stop sharing for a second. And this is our website that I'm taking you to. You should see it here. And I am going to take you to educators and students because you're a student. When you're a graduate, you'll be a job seeker, and this is where you can find information about job openings at our member companies. But in the meantime, you're a student, so let's go here. So we have a video on effective communication in the workplace, but this is the one I'm going to take you to, is how to be successful in the workplace. So let's go to that.
I'm Anne France with the New Manufacturing Alliance. Our members are excited about you joining their team. Being successful in the workplace is very much like the cogs in a gear you would find in a manufacturing company's. Each small cog impacts the overall running of the gear. Likewise, there are many small things you can do that will impact how you excel at your job. Let's now hear from 10 companies on their tips for your success.
At Packer Fastener, we believe that integrity is so vitally important to our success that it's one of the first fundamentals in our company culture. This fundamental says, act with integrity, act in the best interest of our customers, our organization, and our coworkers. Do the right thing at all times, in all circumstances, whether or not anyone is watching. Integrity is important because you're only as good as your word and your actions. There are no shortcuts to success. There is no easy way to the top. Taking responsibility for problems, practicing honesty and transparency, and having the self-discipline to follow through on projects takes time and it takes hard work. It takes time to build trust and to find success. You have to demonstrate that you're dependable and hardworking in every interaction. And if you decide to take a shortcut just once, if you choose not to show integrity just one time, all that trust, which took you so long to build, it can all disappear in an instant. At the end of the day, life's too short to take shortcuts. If you want to be successful, play the long game. Demonstrate integrity every time you interact with your family, friends, coworkers, and customers. And if you do, you're going to be successful.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Hoppa, Director of Large Chassis Manufacturing for Alliance Laundry Systems in Ripon. For me, defining quality is pretty straightforward. It means that I do what I say I'm going to do. At Alliance Laundry Systems, we say we build the world's best laundry equipment, and we back that up every day with our actions. We're committed to providing laundry equipment and service that meets or exceeds our customers' expectations. We are on a never-ending journey to improve our processes, and our team members are deeply involved in making those improvements. Every team member is expected to contribute to a quality product through their daily work. First, and most important, our team needs to know and follow all of our health and safety procedures. You need to show up on time, ready for duty, and we want our team members to speak up and share their ideas. We continuously enhance our legendary quality by finding new ways to make our manufacturing processes as error-free, efficient, and safe as possible. It's a big goal, but our team has been meeting high-quality standards for 115 years, and we work together to make it happen.
At Sargento, collaboration skills are critical to success in today's work environment. We at Sargento work together as a team, helping others around us become better, and building professional relationships with coworkers that include trust, respect, care, and appreciation for each person makes a difference. Collaboration improves the way our teams work together and problem solve. This leads to more innovation, efficient processes, increased success, and improved communication. Collaboration means being open to feedback and ideas from all the team members, providing different perspectives. If a group of employees at Sargento work together to finish a project on time, they work together as a team. But if they brainstorm their new ideas for the project, they are collaborating.
As an automation engineer, my team and I are always making sure KI is on the forefront of manufacturing technologies. We regularly develop systems and processes and fixtures that help our operations and our people remain efficient, relevant, and best in our industry. It can be fast-paced and exciting, but it can also require a certain level of composure and adaptability in my day-to-day work. I need to be ready to quickly adapt and prioritize the needs of our production team and our operations team, regardless of what I had planned for that day. Throughout my life, I've honed my ability to look at a situation and break it into smaller, more manageable tasks. That way I can prioritize and accomplish them one at a time. A lot of situations can look daunting if you're looking at it as a whole. Being able to identify the needs and the solutions calmly and efficiently has helped me a lot throughout my career.
As you think about your future career and what it is like to be in the workforce, you will frequently hear the word initiative. Initiative is really your ability to get things done without being told what to do. At LaForce, all employees are trusted to do their work and meet deadlines every day. This means prioritizing what tasks need to be done first. It means being flexible because not everything goes the way you want it to, and you must be willing to adjust. Most importantly, showing initiative and self-direction means accomplishing your portion of the job so that teammates can do their portion of the job. You will be trained to do your job. Make sure you ask questions and take notes. This is the first step in showing initiative because you are preparing to do the work independently. There's always more to be done, so if you are not sure what to do, just ask. If you finish your work early, ask for more. Asking questions is an important part of the job. Asking questions is how you learn how your specific job fits into the larger organization. The more you learn, the more you can assist the team and grow your career.
Have you ever heard there's only one thing in life that never changes, and it's change? Dealing with change can be hard, especially when it happens quickly and unexpectedly. It's normal to feel confusion, excitement, sadness, shock, and/or anger when changes happen. But how we choose to adapt is important, and anyone who can adapt quickly and effectively to change can stand out in the workplace. So here are 3 tips on how to effectively adapt to changes in the workplace. Adapt to change quickly and move forward with a positive, can-do attitude. Use problem-solving and critical thinking skills to understand and become comfortable with the change. Change is less scary when you understand everything you can about the situation. Be willing to learn new skills that support the change and make sure you're changing for the better. It's no doubt that change can be difficult because it alters someone's normal or what they're used to. But embracing change and learning how to adapt opens doors to powerful and exciting opportunities.
I'm Eric Balsad, an automation engineer for Georgia Pacific. At Georgia Pacific, nothing is more important than workplace safety. We have invested millions of dollars towards creating a safe work environment for all our employees. Spending money to create a safe work environment is great. However, it isn't enough. Our employees play a critical part in maintaining workplace safety by creating a culture that makes safety the #1 priority. As an individual considering a career in manufacturing, one of the best ways to improve your employability is to demonstrate a desire to create a safe work environment. We encourage individuals seeking a career in manufacturing to adopt the following thought process to not only help maintain our safety and the safety of others, but also show an employer your commitment to safety. Here are 3 tips for creating a safe work environment. Identify the possible risks associated with your work and your work area. If you're uncomfortable or unsure about something, stop, think, and ask others before proceeding. Always have the courage to respectfully challenge any processes, settings, or behaviors that you feel are unsafe.
Hi, my name is Vladimir Torres, and I am a welder with Exactech and Marine Travel Lift in Sturgeon Bay. As you come into the workforce, you will quickly realize how important effective communication is. For starters, effective communication is exchanging ideas, opinions, and knowledge with clarity and purpose. When communicating effectively, it is important to remember these 3 key factors. 1, choose your words wisely. Think about what you are going to say to ensure your listener will fully understand what you are wanting to convey. Do not speak in text talk, as not every individual will understand the slang or acronyms you may use. 2, be a good listener. Listen to other individuals fully and feel free to ask questions before you respond. 3, consider your tone and body language. Be sure your tone and body language are not saying something different than the words that are being spoken by you. Poor body language and tone could leave someone to perceive what you are trying to say instead of understanding what you are actually wanting to convey.
I am Benny Oquendo, and I serve as the Bilingual Manufacturing Training Coordinator at Harlan Label Printer. Today, I will be covering developing positive relationship with others. What that means to us is here to help the team in any aspect, be respectful and strive to understand each individual without judging. Care about each individual and don't judge them. We all have things that happen to us that have impact our lives and who we are. Set your team members up for success. Leave things as good or better than when you got over there. Put yourself in your team shoes. We are all equals. Be humble, be open to build a relationship with people. Share experience with your team that you have learned that could help them. Communication is a two-way street. You need to listen more than you talk.
My name is Jordan Hockers. I'm a plastics engineering intern with Nicolay Plastics. Here are my tips for being successful in the workplace. Be sure to set personal goals for improvement. Challenge yourself. I was in high school when I started with Nicolay Plastics. I had no experience or expectations what I wanted to do for a career. I challenged myself to learn as much as possible, get outside my comfort zone, to be more outgoing and more curious. Listen. When working with someone with more experience and knowledge, it is important to listen to them. Listen to how they solve problems and interact with other team members. When they answer your questions, be sure to give them 100% of your attention. Being respectful and listening is important to growing yourself. Be open-minded. Be willing to take feedback from more experienced team members. The feedback may be good or it may be bad. Either way, have an open mind and listen to what areas need improvement. One way I have been able to reach my personal goals is by asking team members how I can improve. Do not just ask anyone though. Be sure to ask the ones with the most experience and skill who will be honest with you. Having someone tell you that you're doing great may feel good, but it will not help you improve yourself or your employability skills.
Great. So let me get out of that. Thank you. And let's go back to the PowerPoint. Again, those employability skills are going to be so critical and really lead to your success. And I think one of the hardest ones for a lot of us is when we have conflict. And so this book, Crucial Conversations, is really a game changer for a lot of people on how to have those crucial conversations that are difficult. So I know one of our companies, Lindquist Machine, has all of their employees read this book. So if you're looking for some help in that area, this is the book for you. Before I conclude today, I just want to invite all of you to Internship Draft Day. on November 5th at Lambeau Field. Our organization has a really fun event to help you find college internships. Now, you may say, hey, I'm only a freshman or a sophomore. Will there be anything available for me? And yes, indeed, there is. So on November 5th at 3 o'clock, we invite you to come. You'll be able to interview with over 50 companies with over 200 college internship opportunities available, and all of them are being paid. And we make it kind of fun. And what we do is when you walk into Lambeau Field, you'll see your name on a draft board based on your student club participation and GPA. And then during the event, you get points for how well you interview. And at the end of the night, we announce the #1 draft picks. So the NFL had its draft in Green Bay this past year. Well, we've been doing this event for 10 years. So we're the catalyst for the draft. And what's cool is if you are the #1 draft pick for your college, you'll win a $500 college scholarship. And if you're the overall #1 draft pick of all of the colleges that are at the event, you'll win a $2,500 college scholarship. For more information, go to internshipdraftday.com. We'll be opening up the registration in late September, and that's where you'll be able to see what opportunities there are. So I hope to see you on November 5th at Lambeau Field for Internship Draft Day. Again, it's just internshipdraftday.com. That's my information I'm sharing with you today. Thank you so much for your participation in this class. I'm going to stop sharing and just get on the line again. Thank you again. I really appreciate you looking at investing in your career in engineering. It's a great career, great choice, and hope to hear from you at either Internship Draft Day or when you graduate. And I would be very happy to help you find your first job out of college. Thanks again.